So, we are back. Welcome back to InSense. We are super excited. This week we have a very special guest, Mr. Dwayne.
Come on! Them kind of introductions, darn.
And it's our first guest. Like, I'm so happy. It wasn't someone that, you know, you guys know loads from us. It was someone that we both know it separately as well.
Yes.
In our careers, journeys and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I just think Dwayne's someone that you can have a chat with, you can laugh with, you can get serious with. And I know between myself and you, we both had those conversations with you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really exciting to
I'm
have you on.
excited. I mean, Dwayne, I've known you for what? 20 plus years?
20 plus years, yeah. It's a very long time.
Since we were 5, of course.
I love it. They're really trying to make us be. No, man, let's embrace our age.
No, for real. No, we are. Yeah.
Show them that fine wine.
Yeah, we.
You two both, yes.
Excuse me.
Thank you,
darling.
darling. Oh, sorry, baby. Sorry. No, I didn't mean to do that. My bad. See, had me in it. She was about to compliment us, so I was engrossed.
Yes.
But like, you're someone that's creative.
Yeah.
You've been about not in
I
that
know what you
way,
mean.
but
No.
like you're someone well known in our industry. We fleet between a few things.
Yeah.
But obviously in the last few years, I've seen you post lots about whether that's mental health, whether that's, you know, speaking on behalf of men and feelings, whether that's just being a character and just embracing like different personalities and just funny stories. Like, you're someone that is just very outspoken and out there. So where have you felt like your transition has been in the last few years in regards to just from Dwayne maybe as an artist to like Dwayne as a character now?
Right. So because I've always been interested in entertainment, that's always been there. But once I found my feet in the entertainment, I kind of was just like, I need to get back to my roots, innit? I need to get in touch with who I am, because the entertainment kind of gave me the confidence, helps me gain that confidence. But you still don't know what it really truly feels like to be a confident man outside of the entertainment.
And just as you, not as.
And I think Dwayne, like from knowing you, for so long, like 20 plus years ago, and I think till today, Dwayne has been one of the most renowned dancers in the game, doing some historical things with music videos of Jamila, and I think a lot of people don't realise that about you as well, the credit behind of the work that you've actually done.
Yeah, because it's kind of old school now, isn't it? I can't believe that I'm old school now, because when I was doing it, it didn't feel old
but
school.
you were, I like to call it one of the originals.
One of the originals in terms of, to make it from that, say, street to commercial.
Exactly.
And allowing those two like worlds.
And allowing it to be a career as well, because let's face it, back then it wasn't paid as much, and you know, actually
paid as much, you were just about paid.
Yeah.
As a street dancer, it was just that. It was a hobby.
Right.
I remember leaving college, like telling my mum I'm not going back to college. And my mum is Black West Indian, that's not going to work. But I had to sit her down and tell her, look, Mum, I'm not going back to college, I just don't want to. And that was a hard conversation, but she had no choice really. I was a young adult, and I was respectful, obviously. And she said, get a job, come out, find job. Those were her words, find job.
Find the job.
It's like as simple as that. I found a job that just worked for me. And then whilst I was working, it was like, say, Monday to Friday, 12 to 4. Perfect hours.
Right.
You know, just perfect.
Right.
So I had the mornings if I had to do something extra with Shay and Dre, size 9, big up size 9, that's the old school thing. Right? And then I had the evenings if I had to do something.
Yeah.
But I was also working, and I was making enough money whereby my mum wouldn't say, where's the money? Cool, I'm good. Then I got into the commercial world.
Right.
And once I got into the commercial world, that's when the money changed, and that's when it became a job.
A career.
Full-time career. I was making more money than my mum. And it was like my mum was proud. You know those times where she's like, you know, when she's like, at first it was like, it's not a job, son. It's not going to sustain. And then the moment she saw me, Jamila, she said, "Me, what's this, son? I said, oh, so was that you, mum? Was that you, But I managed to just find myself, find a career, sustain that career, and continue to go on into like, say, with the agency with Royston, you know, R&D, big up Royston. That's now all Royston's, belongs to Royston's. It was Royston's baby. It was something that we did together, but there was just so much more that I wanted to do. Do you know what I mean? And one of those things that I wanted to do was, as much as I always want to give back, and I continue to give back, I had to find myself.
Yeah.
I had to find myself first. And it was I'd say about 15 years ago, that I kind of, like, certain things happen in life, as we all know, things kind of just jog your memory about, like, hold on, is this, like, where I had to check myself. I had to check myself and say, is this how you really want to leave your legacy, so to speak? Do you want to be this way? And I had to check myself and be like, okay, no, I don't. So how do I now find myself as a man, as a human being? And I realized I had to be vulnerable. I had to be honest. I had to be all these things that. But it's like you had to be all these things that, as a man, it's almost like the anti, like, like you're like, no, like
you have to be masculine and you have to not show your feelings.
So it almost doesn't involve vulnerability.
Right.
You know what? The entertainment side of things allowed me to find that though, because you've got to find vulnerability, especially being around people of all types of sexualities and everything. So you just got this freedom.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? You can be in a room where, like, you see where I come from. If a girl's in the room getting changed, you're just like. But that's how it works in the dance.
Weird. Like, I have guys say to me, "What, you lot get changed in front of each other?" I'm like,
And for us, it's like you kind of realize in the way that they ask you, "What, you lot get changed in front of each other?" You go, because you realize in that way they have now put it in a way that doesn't make sense to them.
What they're used to.
But it makes sense to us, but we also understand why it doesn't make sense to them because we've been there. We're still normal people. So just being in a room full of creatives, we can just be in a room, be talking. Hey, no, listen, I was just, you know what I mean? So when and it's just they're just talking to me like, babe, is it out? Is it out? And you're like, that's your breast. Like, so, and you had to learn to be around that without being some idiot. And I'm making it funny, but as small as it is, just those kind of things changed my whole perspective of just being able to be comfortable in a setting around women and men that are just out and bad with willy and titty out.
So saying that, so one of the things or reasons we wanted to bring you on today was because of the word comfortable.
Right.
And we know that women and men, you know, often when they're experiencing that first stage of getting to know each other, and whether that's through intimacy or sex or whatever it is, as much as you trust and you're allowing that bond to grow, there's still so many things that become uncomfortable.
Right.
And we wanted to just kind of have a man's opinion on just the beginning stages. And also, actually, when you're like heavily in with someone, the things that kind of are a bit awkward and weird to bring up, the icks, the kind of embarrassing things, whether that's just with your partner and you don't know how to say something. And we just wanted complete honesty about certain things. So we'll maybe just run through some of the...
Give me some scenarios, because obviously that's quite general.
Yeah, no, that is general.
And
We're gonna dive in with
the questions, Dwayne, and we want you to...
Let me hold my drink.
Hold the drink.
Take a little sip and take... Cheers, guys.
Cheers, darling. We're gonna go with the questions, and obviously we, again, as CJ said, the reason we wanted you to come is we know how open and honest.
And one thing, I think, just even from Dwayne saying that, like, you know, actually, let's be real, like, there are so many things that are sensitive. And I know you're not someone that's small-minded that will just say something that's quite harmful. But so we wanted to just have someone that understands women as well, but also us that understand men. And we just wanted to have a really simple conversation. So don't feel you like you have to, like, you know, say it from this. It's just...
I'm just going to be totally honest and transparent.
From Dwayne's perspective.
You know what, just to touch on that, the whole purpose of this is to offer a space of transparency, authenticity.
Right.
Yeah, what I'd like to call, like, we've got to offer a space of just, like, understanding, overstanding, and innerstanding.
Yes, Dwayne.
And when you can offer... Listen, but no, it's that we've got to be able to offer that to ourselves, so then we can offer that to each other.
Absolutely.
So you lot have offered me that space, and I'm offering that space back to you. So we're just going to speak freely.
You guys at home, we want it to be a complete, like, if there might be moments of like, but like, this is all love. So
don't worry.
That's the leading language. That's the leading language.
Always.
We lead it with love.
Sash, do you want to take it or?
So I'm gonna start.
Woo! Yes.
Let's get into this.
Okay.
Right. You're getting to know. Okay, let me just, you're You're getting to know a woman.
Okay.
You like her.
I like her.
She likes you.
Awesome. She should. Nah, I'm a buff thing.
You are. You've been a buff thing since day.
Mind you.
I'm gonna give it that, yeah, boo.
Thank you, babe.
So this is what, okay, my thing is, my general thing, and I'm sure a lot of women out there have the same problem. Not that problem, but, you know.
Just the same issue. We can call it a problem issue.
Yeah, it's an issue, like, you know,
Or the thing that comes up.
Because you're really trying to find the right word, so we don't want to trigger no one. This is how.
I love our space. We're so sensitive and like.
We're like, I don't want to trigger somebody who said it's not a problem though. Okay, no, that's not what I meant. But you know what? This is an open space. It's a problem.
It's a problem.
But
okay,
it's not a problem that we have to make a problem.
No, it's something as women. I know it goes over our minds.
Right. All right.
Overthinkers, right?
Oh. Did we own that?
We own that. We're overthinkers as women.
Yeah, I told you we're in this already.
No, I love that. But when you do it, I have to honour you.
Thank you.
All right, continue.
As women, we overthink. You get to know someone. You know, it's like nice and easy at first, and it's like, yeah, oh my god, he's messaging me. We're meeting up. Woo, the butterflies are coming. It's like excited.
You watch us all excited because I remember the feeling. You know?
And it's like, oh my god, and you know, you get a bit. I'm as everyone that knows me, you know, I'm a very confident woman,
yes.
Right?
Yeah.
However,
there is a however. Yeah.
When I like someone, I get really awkward. I start talking about bread and really random things, and you know, what type of bread you like, brown or white, you know, just random shit, yeah. And I get a bit like, oh, I don't know.
You get a bit flustered, nervous.
I get a bit flustered,
right?
And as forthcoming as I am, it's like the words that come out.
Right.
So then you get to a point of you're like, where is this going? But you know, how do I drop it to him? Like, where is this going? Like, you know, because then the exciting part is there, and then the phone calls.
You kind of want that reassurance.
Yeah.
As well. And it's like, I kind of think, okay, well, I'm being assertive if I say, you know, this is what I kind of want. Where are you at? Like in my head, I feel like I'm being confident, but then I'm like, am I? Am I asking for too much reassurance?
Right. So this is the overthinking.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you're saying one thing, and then you say another, which then leads to another, then leads to another, and all of these things you are now looking for answers.
But the overthinking as well. Can I just say something?
Go for
the overthinking also comes from, you know, your behaviour changing towards us.
Right.
As men. Like, as in, at first the phone calls are there, it's like, yeah, I want to date you, I want to do this, and it's like, yeah. And it comes to it, and it's like, kind of like, it slows down a bit, right? It slows down.
Or maybe maybe someone becomes comfortable, or maybe someone isn't as into us as we thought. But
they were.
We don't know because we're at the stage of like unknown.
Yeah.
What would be your kind of? Because I'm sure there are a million different ways that this happens.
Yeah,
because there might be different reasons. But
can you please interpret in a man's language?
In a man's language. I'm gonna tell you.
Women.
I'm gonna let you women understand what it is. All right. There is a conditioned narrative. Are we understanding what I'm saying, or do I have to explain it?
No, we understand. Can you just explain it?
I'll explain it for everyone. There's a conditioned language or conditioned narrative, and the conditioned narrative is what I mean by that is the one that society says, even though we are society, the one that society says makes us who we are. So for example, women generally are like this, men are generally like that.
Yeah.
Right? So the conditioned narrative is women are better suited. This is just kind of like the unsaid contract. Women are better suited for relationships. What I mean by that is because although men are the quarters, you guys are the deciders.
Okay.
Right? But you're not.
Okay.
I'm willing to.
Right? You're not. You're not the deciders.
Right.
Neither are the men. We are to a degree, but we're not. What it is that we have to offer each other a space. You've got to decide for you, and he's got to decide for him, and then you've got to decide whether that fits, and you've got to be honest about that fit instead of trying to have someone meet your conditioned narrative. So the issue that women are having when they're, and I'm not saying men are, we're just as a man, I'm speaking to my women. The issue that women are having is that they are trying to have their conditioned narrative met. So quite often, the reason why you're overthinking is because you are fighting and battling with your spirit over your human experience, right? The human experience tells us that a man should tick these surveys because a woman says, I want this, which is fine. You can have your wants and your desires. There is nothing wrong with having your wants and desires. Never ever lose your wants and desires.
Oh no,
these are your values, right? Cool. Don't lead with that.
Yeah.
Do not lead with that energy. Lead with the energy that benefits you from the spirit. Lead with the energy that you need, not the stuff that you want, like rather and prefer.
Right.
The things that you would like in a man is great for you to have. But if you lead with that energy, he is never going to fulfill that desire. The reason for that is because the goalpost changes. What you want can forever change. What you need is a necessity. What you need is connection. Right? So what you need is to have that connection, and then you can see whether the fit happens. Right? Quite often, again, conditioned narrative, men are only trying to tick your box.
For what? His pleasure?
For both, because it's part of the conditioning. How do I court a woman? The best way to court a woman is to behave in the way that she likes. She says she wants a man that calls her all the time and so I'm gonna be that man for the time being. Now, when I say this, it's not just to get in our lip. It's not, but it is for some. We are physical beings.
You're hunters. You're men. I feel like men are hunters.
Hunter-gatherers, providers. So we that's what we're scientifically, that's what we're born to do. But that doesn't mean that we don't have any feelings and that we're not intimate. We're not intimate and we're not into loving and feeling.
So you want to feel wanted and.
We want the same things you don't want. We just want it in a different way.
But then.
Right?
Okay.
Right. So what you have to stop doing. And I say, rather than stop, what you have to start doing is being your truth for you first. Stop thinking about what he's doing or not doing and just do and be you. Whilst considering him and others. What women tend to do is they want their narrative met. Period. And the moment the man is not meeting that narrative, they are pissed. Right?
Well, I wouldn't call it pissed.
I say pissed for a reason.
Okay.
Because pissness is just the word I'm using for I am triggered.
Right. And I fully, and let's be real. That trigger often comes from things that have happened previously. It doesn't just come out of nowhere. It comes either from previous relationships, what you've seen growing up, parents, loved ones, right? And that's all.
Same for the men.
Yeah. Listen,
same for the men. Right? The same reason why men are just trying to tick your box or blah, blah, blah. Quite often women need to understand that men haven't been taught how to be.
They're reflecting a mirror of what they know.
Some of them, I'm not saying all, but some, let's just say, some of these men have never grown up with a father figure. Right. So, and they've grown up with a mother that may have been, that may not have been affectionate or may have been too affectionate. Spoil them to the point where they believe that a woman's role is this and a woman's role is that. So most of them have no real conscious understanding of what it takes in order to even be in a fulfilling relationship.
Okay, so if we go back to a woman and what we need then.
Yes.
So if I feel my needs aren't being met.
Yes.
And like that's without the likes, the wants, whatever. But if I really at my core feel like, do you know what? Like all I actually need here is this, and this isn't being what's my, where do I stand there? Because I still really like you, I would still like to pursue this, but when you're not meeting me where I feel like I need, so what do you do then? I don't want to go into moaning, so I don't want to do that, I don't want to even repeat myself, but is a man willing to step forward if, like, what's the best way
the best way is to be honest. You have to be totally honest and transparent. Now a lot of the time women are going to say, but I am. You're not, because everything has to connect.
I agree with you.
You have to connect with your
Sasha
actions.
even say this, like, and I'll say to Sasha a lot about being like, come on, we just have to say it how it is, because that way.
But you know who you have to say it to first?
The man.
No, yourselves.
So, of course.
Because the point is, you're not being honest with yourself, because what you're doing is having this conversation. You're having what you just said. You're saying, but my needs are not being met. But I really like him. So there's all of these different questions. I'm not saying you can't have these conversations. But the issue that we have as human beings is that we lead with what doesn't serve us over what will. So we lead with the questioning rather than leading with the certainty. That doesn't mean you can't have questions.
No, because uncertainty is needed in life. Like we need to have that.
Of course, but don't lead with it. So for example, I get mad, I get angry, and I want to thump man in their face. But I don't lead with that energy. I don't lead with the anger, and I don't lead with the want to thump him in his face. So instead, I lead with love and respect.
Right. I said my purpose in life. I was trying to think of all these and I just narrowed it down. I couldn't find any simpler, just to lead with love.
That's
my thing. That's my mantra.
Yeah, so literally that became my mantra last year, and everything since then has kind of felt a lot more easier because I'm not battling with my ego days. Like, there's still things that come up that you go, fuck me, that is. And we say this all the time, like when our ego is present, we're like, Jesus Christ, because we want our own way here. And I'm very big on like having my own way. And then I go, CJ, but why? Like, what is? As you said, I'm leading here with likes, this, someone ticks and box. Is it really my truth? Like,
no.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not.
It's not. It's part of your truth.
Yeah, right.
But it's not the leading truth. Your truth is your spirit. Like, I know your spirit. The spirit is what we are speaking with right now. Right. But the moment we become intimate, you no longer lead with your spirit, and neither do I.
So what's that? Sorry, what do you think the prime reason for that is? Is because we're scared of getting hurt?
Conditioning. So yes, it's the fear of being hurt, but we've been conditioned to lead with the human experience. We haven't been conditioned to lead with the spiritual being. We haven't been told, like, lead with that gut, man. We are taught to be like, you know, the sheeps. You know, part of the cattle. We're taught to be followers. Like, none of us, when we go to school, they're not teaching us to be the manager. They're not teaching us to be the CEO, the owner. They're teaching us to be an employee.
Amen.
You know what I mean?
Dwayne, I want to ask you, I think as women, a lot of us tend to get attached to,
that word.
We get attached to the idea of a relationship. You get attached to the idea of how a man, you know, you kind of meet him, as you say, it's the boxes that, you know, he does it in the beginning that ticks everything. You're like, oh my God, it's perfect.
Yeah.
And then you just get attached to this whole idea. Now, I've, you know, as CJ said, you know, this for years now, I've been trying to work on myself of not attaching myself to an idea and having that connection, as you said, right? Because I think that's the main thing to a real good relationship is that foundation, that connection, rather than 100%. Attachment. However, as women, like, again, we're humans. We
I was just about to say, I don't think it's just women, as humans. Because
as humans.
Oh yeah, men do it too.
So that's
what
what I want to ask you.
Yeah.
When do you guys get attached? When?
A lot of the time, it's going to sound a little bit, again, generally. Generally, men get more attached to the physical.
Okay.
Right?
See, okay, so where's this subject? Where's the whole thing of once you have sex, then you're not attached? Because I feel like there is still this common theme of if you have sex too soon, then I'm not interested. And if you have
right, all of that, it exists again on a human conditioned way.
Right.
How are we going to continue to be on Earth? We have to have sex. That's the only way to procreate. Right. So that's why we're here.
Right.
We can't not accept the need for that.
Absolutely.
The men, that is our natural primal instinct, is to like a lion, just go for the thing. You know what I mean? Don't look me in the eye when I do that, because you might get a little vibe. I'm just saying, I'll give you the tingle.
Ladies!
Give you the countdown. Okay, I'm so sorry.
You gonna make some correspondence. The show, boo.
Listen, I want you to fall in love, but I need you to fall in love with you first. Don't love me. Don't love me without loving you, because you won't get me.
The girls are gonna be. Give them your Instagram. Give them your Instagram.
But yeah, no, that we do get attached. Don't get it twisted. It's not like we don't. It's only physical.
Because you know we show it. I think as females,
you show it in that way.
Vulnerable.
Yes.
And we show our vulnerability that little bit more. We show it more.
You show it more through the emotional way, and men show it through the physical. But men, we have the exact same feelings you do. We still want and yearn for that. We want that.
I do agree.
1,000%. 1,000%.
I've noticed it in sometimes when you have sex, because you think, oh my God, as a female, like, it's going to be me, Actually, I've noticed that a man...
Some guys, because we give them the good
Listen.
too.
But equally, like Dwayne said, I felt that more in my recent years from owning myself more.
The moment you own it yourself, you will then feel...
And actually, where I feel the kind of is maybe just that me and a guy aren't meant to be in a relationship. It's never usually a respect thing, and this is what we were saying the other day as well. Actually, sometimes we're just not maybe meant to be with that person.
It
doesn't mean they don't have respect for you. Like have love for you. Because I've noticed that I know that this person has so much love for me, but you're just not on my level of what I want or need anyway. So why beat myself up when we're just not even, like you say, spiritually connected? I'm in a fucking mindfuck with myself over something that I know isn't even meeting me. So let me just appreciate this for what it is, even if that is just physical, and know that it's no disrespect. You know?
Exactly. You're right there, yeah?
You can't, yeah, sorry.
I was like, where you getting? I thought you were getting somewhere.
No, it is, and I think as well, for me coming from I want to say older generation, like more of an old school generation, growing up with, what is the mandem? Growing up with the mandem, I had it engraved, tattooed in my brain, like, if you give up the noonie too soon, like, you're considered a hoe. And that's what was back in the days, that's what it was. So that was engraved.
It's so nice to see this kind of recent empowerment thing on Instagram, like, no, girls can own their fit. But let's be real, we did grow up with that kind of...
I literally, because most of my, I had guys around me all the time. And I actually saw some of my best friends growing up were men, and I saw how they were treating women. And they would like literally show me, Sash, if you move like this, you're going to get treated like this. So coming from that generation, I was always like, okay, I've got to be the forbidden apple that no one can have. Like,
I understand that.
It's only
so many deep.
It's so many. The thing is, some of the things, the reason why the men were behaving that way again is because they had no man to tell them that that's not even how you treat a woman, regardless of even if she's treating herself that way.
The boys around weren't even.
Like some of these guys weren't like that. Like I grew up around men that was the thing. I'm not necessarily saying I got involved deeply, but I was there.
Right.
I saw some things.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I've seen it myself.
You know what I was always the guy that I might get a little squeeze of the little bosom. I'm not gonna lie, I might get a little squeeze. But I was always the guy that spoke to the girls. I'm the guy that goes to the seriously, no, I go to the strip club and I speak to the dancers and ask them, so what how do you dancing? What this is? Like, I talk to them and I have to give them moments because when they're like, oh, do you want to dance? I'm kind of like, I'm cool, but go make your money. They're like, no, but I want to keep talking to you. I'm like, no, go make your money.
Honestly, at any occasion that I've ever been to, I'm just at the corner somewhere with Dwayne just having these deep chats.
Yeah, I know, it's always...
So we can just go have a drink and like dance. Like, we're just like, no, but it's mad, like this is happening. We're like, what do you think of this? Like, I'm just like, bro, like just enjoy
it just happens. It just happens.
But I think the moment for me anyway, the moment I became more I still have those triggers, don't get me wrong, they're not completely gone because they still sometimes I'm like, oh shit, did I give it up too soon? But I have to have a conversation with myself, right? Have that trigger with myself and remind myself, like, hold on a minute, Sash, you're a grown woman, right?
He gave it up just as soon.
Right.
You what? Like you both met each other at the same time. You were both there, right?
But no, I'm saying I'm more comfortable with it. I'm so much more like I don't think about before. I'd be like, I can't have sex.
But it's just so mad because
also
that energy is met with someone. If you was to have sex with someone and think these things, it's like, raw, like. Am I thinking this because you're not even meeting with me with the same energy? I remember one time when I had sex with someone and I think it was our third day of knowing each other, and like you say, it was so ingrained in me to be like, oh my god, and he was like, babes, like you're genuinely probably one of the most serious people I've met in a long time, and we ended up dating for months. Again, we didn't get into whatever for so many different reasons, but I still have love for him to this day.
Right.
And we had sex on our third. I don't even know if it was a date or just spending time together, but it felt right, and I didn't even have that silly thing of like, oh my god, because there was so much mutual respect, and I was actually a lot younger then, but. I feel like my triggers are brought up by men that are not meeting me where I'm at in my maturity. If that makes sense.
Let's talk about this then. Now.
Right.
Let's talk about this. So, because right there and then, you're giving away your power.
Right.
Right? Right there is where you got to be like, where you're being triggered, when you're being triggered, ladies, that is the most important time for you to do the work.
Right. What do you mean that?
So when you see what we're talking about right now, and we're making all of these realizations, and we're like,
can I give you an example of when I get triggered at my adult age? Like,
go.
Right. So for example, if you come over tonight, right? Well, not you, but
I know what you're saying because I am here tonight.
Imagine like me, you and seeing each other, we're talking, blah blah blah, we're trying to get into something, whatever. We've been having sex. We have sex.
Yeah.
My trigger is when you leave after sex. My triggers like come in like. I'm not gonna lie, insecurities come in, the unwanted feeling of like, what is it not, that, why do you...
Is it just sex?
Is it just sex? You're confused, but then you're still calling me, that's, for women, and I'm sure a lot of women could agree with me on this one, when a man is seeing you or whatever, and I find it disrespectful, I find it impolite when he leaves straight after sex.
Have you ever left straight after sex?
Yes, because I need to
Whoa. I didn't ask any reasoning. I didn't ask for any reasoning. I just asked you one question.
Yeah, but...
No, I get you. Do you see what she's doing? I just asked one question because I didn't ask you why he left. And you didn't tell me why.
Only once.
I just asked you,
yes,
have you ever... This is the problem that women will find.
No, you're right.
Have you ever left straight after sex?
I have.
Cool. When you left straight after sex, did you feel the same way? Did you wonder if he felt the same way because you know how you feel to leave?
Yeah, I did.
Did you wonder how he felt?
Yeah, so
did you explain yourself?
Yeah, I did.
Cool. Now what you have to understand is that's the only person you're responsible for.
Right.
You. Mm-hmm. So the same way you called because you felt this is how I feel is the same way you should explain how you feel. He doesn't know how you feel. Women, we are not mind readers. Right. I'm leaving after sex for the same reason you might have left. I just want to be in my own space. I don't know why he's leaving. Yeah, but that's why he's leaving. The point is that you have to be comfortable before you have sex. You can't. You know, because you felt this way. You're not a virgin. You've had sex. You've had sex a few times. You know you feel this way. Don't have sex then. Make a decision.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like this. I mean, I say this about a lot of things in regards to like STIs, pregnancy, all that. If you're not even comfortable to have those conversations, you shouldn't be having sex. And I think it's the same with your emotions.
Yeah.
Like I remember even the situation, Sash, like something that was quite triggering to me before I was having sex with someone that was completely unromantic, nothing involved sexually. We had a very pretty much written agreement. It wasn't on paper, but it was, and it got to a point where I was like, I'm feeling numb. Anyways, a year later, because I said I didn't want to go into it anymore, I was done. I then go, I missed that feeling again. I have to know wholeheartedly when I go, CJ, you are agreeing to this. We've had the conversation. You can't be coming in. But does he want me to say no? We've had the conversation. Unless you are willing to bring it up again and go through it again.
And you have every right to.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's almost a new agreement. Yeah. Because if you've taken a time out, you might want to speak again. Men don't have a problem with you speaking again. What it is, let me tell you what men have an issue with.
What is it that you have an issue with?
A major issue that most men can't articulate themselves.
I can feel it. I can feel it.
Let me tell you what it is. So when women have an issue, the issue we have is women make their issue ours. I don't have a problem with you having an issue. It's when you make your issue my issue.
Right. You're projecting.
Right.
No,
so even if I play a part, so even if it is that.
And vice versa.
1000%. So if, like you said, if I leave after us having sex and you've got a problem with that, I don't know unless you say. Don't get twisted. I might feel in your energy, but I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Like, and even if I do and I ask you and you say you're fine, man don't have time to want to work that out.
No, I don't tell them that I'm fine.
Then why is it still happening? Because you must be having some conversation with them, or you're having sex and they've never seen them again.
I'm not saying it's still happening. I'm just saying this has happened. This is what's happening.
Do you have conversation with
one of my triggers? Pardon?
So what's the trigger for you?
When a man leaves.
So that's abandonment?
Yeah.
Right, okay, so that has nothing to do with the man. Or that man, because he didn't abandon you.
No.
Not as in how you felt it. He's not the one that abandoned you. He just left.
Yeah.
Which triggers abandonment. I understand that.
It's probably my daddy.
1000%.
It's my daddy issue.
Oh, you think I wasn't going there?
Yeah, no, of
I
course
was
it's
going
my
there. I just
daddy
wanted you
issue.
to get there.
And then the thing is, no, good. You're absolutely right.
That's all it is for all of us. Men, when they're leaving, he might be leaving because out of fear. I don't want to get used to and comfortable this woman loving me, feeling this feeling that isn't going to stay. Right? You need to understand that when men are sick, we become babies. We want to be mothered. I don't want you to be my mother. I just want to be mothered. Yes, I want to be nurtured. Yeah, because that's what it feels like. That you want a woman's touch. And when it's not your mother, it's still that mothering feeling, but it's different because there can be a little bit of sexual chemistry in there. But I'm sick, so there's not going to be no sex. But I mean, depends. But anyway, we're not going there. But men, we need that. We still need that. The same way you feel a certain way, we feel it.
So what would be a man's trigger, for example? Would you have the same trigger like a woman would? Like, would that make you feel a type of way? Like, let's reverse roles now.
So I have to be general because if you're dealing with personal, my triggers are totally different.
Okay, let's do general.
Generally, general men's triggers. Because men just... It's difficult. It's difficult because a lot of men's triggers are realistically not being enough for a woman.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, like that's a man's huge trigger.
Really?
Yeah, because we don't know what it takes.
So how do you act then when you feel like you're not enough? Because we're trying to understand your language.
We act different ways. So either we cheat, or we lash out, or we abuse, or we boom boom boom, or we leave, or we shy away, or we talk too much, or like there's different.
In the middle of the night after sex.
Yeah, no, even that. Like there's so many different things that men, but we are. It's very black and white for men.
Yeah.
For women, it's very colourful.
It almost feels like, gosh, any relationship needs to be so heavily unpacked to really understand anyone's truth, because otherwise I really just think, like you say, we're just living on a human experience, and like everyone's just kind of having sex, staying with someone, leaving someone, going with someone else, and no one's really prepared to do that work. And yes, it is inner work, but it also is understanding that other person that you are with. And I feel like because we have so many personal issues, we make it about ourselves, and we're so not willing to understand
the other person.
That's exactly what the issue is.
And I think as well, like we always say about, don't get into a relationship until you're healed, but we're forever on the journey and the path
you're still
of
like,
healing,
even if you feel like, oh my god, I'm at, like, because I feel like really there, like, I'm at my, at the peak of where I feel great or whatever, but I know come another situation, something brand new can be unraveled. Jesus, it only took me to go to whatever therapy for me to go, fuck me, I didn't realise that was connected to this and this was connected to that. Jesus Christ. And then you're like, Jenga, fucking
Jenga. Just pull up.
Like my knees are trembling and shit, because I didn't realise, like, bruh, this one thing connected to the,
they're all connected.
You know what? But yet that is with every person we meet, and like really, like when I'm looking at all of us, I'm like seeing these like spider diagrams of all this shit that's happened in our lives that we're not willing to take on when we see someone, and we have to understand. You don't have to take it on, like you say.
I know what you mean though. You just you've got to offer the space of understanding, and that's why I say to you, the space of that offering and that honouring, you have to do for you first. I promise you. So then that way, when you do it, no matter what the situation or experience is, even if it's for, when they say a reason, a season, or a lifetime, like that is genuinely true. A lot of the time we are trying to meet this narrative of happily ever after, and I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, but we are all different, right? So even if you saw your mum and your dad like being together forever, that's not your story.
No, it's not.
It might be.
It's been a part of your story.
Right, but that's not yours.
Okay, so I've got a question. Sorry. So, okay, we all want to understand everyone's truth a bit. How or when does it become? Because I feel like sometimes I'm too vulnerable, and sometimes I ask a lot of questions, and not maybe every person that I'm meeting might be on what I'm on.
Right.
So how and where do you gauge the time for? Because I'm also very light-hearted. I'm so like this, that if I'm getting to know you, like, I really want to get to know you, and I want to ask these questions, but like maybe you're not ready for the questions to be asked. So how do I gauge the level of seriousness and when we go there and when we like?
You have to genuinely trust yourself.
Right.
That, because what you're doing is you're coming in and out of the battle between the spirit and the human. Right. Like you're in that moment when you're asking, it's like you said, we could be in a club, we're gonna have a deep talk. You might not want to have a deep talk, but that's what I'm doing.
Right.
If you don't want to, you're free to leave. But that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
So I do and be me unapologetically, whether people like it or not.
Oh.
Right.
Do you understand? That doesn't mean I'm doing it for them not to like.
Right.
I know my intention. So I'm not upset if someone says, well, that's too deeply, I don't want to hear that. That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't get lost, I don't take it personal.
No,
I just go, cool. I don't want to have idle chit chat with you.
Yeah,
because your idle chit chat is the same. I don't have a girl, I don't have a man. Don't, not you. I'm talking when people are having that idle chit chat with me. It's like, I don't want to have that. I'd rather speak, because ultimately that's why you're talking to me, because you want some answers. And all I do is, I'm playing tennis with you. I just give you back the ball to serve yourself. I'm not playing the tennis that you want to play.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like, and maybe we are just very fortunate because we're around like-minded people. Like, I don't have to do that a lot of the time in most of the relationships I'm in. And especially if I'm looking for something romantic, the last thing I then want to do is have to feel like I'm doing battles and fucking mind reading with someone. I want to feel like I'm
that you're receiving it.
You should always be able to be yourself, and the moment you're not, you need to assess that in you, not them. So the question, a lot of the time we always ask the question, I don't want to be too much for that person.
Right.
Again, I'm not saying you can't ask these questions. These are great questions to ask. You still have to consider other people.
Right.
Do not lead with
assumptions.
Don't lead with assumptions.
Yeah.
Don't lead with the external. Don't lead with thinking about others before you.
And also, like, something that I've tried to understand as well, like, and maybe because we've gotten to a place in our lives where we understand ourselves. Not everyone has done yet, so it's having that level of empathy for others to not expect them to be on the exact same path as you. And I don't think that means that person's not right for you. I just think trust in their time as well. Like, if you can see that everything else, that emotional exchange is happening, the energy's there, then why are we in such a rush for you to be on my level because I'm here? Like,
you fit in this way, and fitting in this way is okay. Why do we have to make? Because that's what I say about the conditioned narrative. Like, we're fitting in this way, and rather than us just respect and love that we fit in this way, we're gonna say, "But I wanted to fit in this way."
And I think that is the universe. Those situations as well, showing us different. For me, anyway, specifically, growing up and being single for so long. The same scenario kept happening. And in my head I was like, everyone's like, well, why are you single? You're so this, you're so that. And I was like, I don't know. And then one day I realized, hold on a minute, God, the universe is repeating the same scenarios, but I have not learnt the lesson.
It's going to keep
it's going to keep presenting and presenting until like you say, when I learn. So now, when I'm in a situationship, when I'm in a whatever relationship, I now think, hold on a minute, Sash, why are you questioning this? 1, 2, why are you behaving like this? Why are you getting all like up in your feelings? Like, I have to have a conversation with myself now to understand that, like you said, I'm not being my true 100 self.
No, you're not.
So that's therefore is this person right for me? Is this situation right for me?
Simple.
Do you know what I mean? Because
and you just got to check: are you behaving right in this situation?
Is it right?
Done. You just got to check. Like, is this working for me? And if it's not, cool. A lot of the time, we get so upset with it not working. Right.
I've actually tried to embrace the things that, like, you know my situation. I'm just kind of happy, like, if something's not the relationship of my life, but it's really cool. It's serving me. I'm having a great time, and it's exactly what I feel like it needs to be right now. I'm like, okay, cool. And I think cool. And so often, as females, I'm going to say that, but we do want the the dream, the
man to propose, and
actually, I'm quite okay until that presents itself, and I'm sure.
And for those that want that, just so you know, that's okay too.
It is okay.
You know what I mean? Because some people, they will argue, but what if I do want that?
Yeah,
all I'm saying is, don't lead with the one.
I think my point is, I've just become content in, like, knowing that other situations are okay for me as well. It doesn't have to always be, this heart-wrenching love thing that I feel like I've devoted my life to try and find. Like, for me, it's okay to have friendship and maybe intimacy with someone, but not necessarily like this lifelong thing. Like, I'm just quite okay with being content with what I might have. I don't know.
That's acceptance.
It is acceptance.
That's acceptance. That's accepting that not everything is what we first attach ourselves to, like the idea, right? That's accepting, like, hold on a minute, I got slightly carried away with my idea and getting attached to that idea, but it's actually accepting that that's actually not where this is going, and that's not who this person is for me.
1,000.
And I think this is where, as women, again, I'm talking from a woman's point of view, and I'm sure
I hope so.
Could agree with me on this one, is we tend not to accept a situation for what it is. We want to.
Sorry, this is it's just so they don't.
And I've only, again, it's through experience, it's through life.
And not that men don't either, because men don't, but it's different.
But it's both ways.
It's men just do it differently, because men not accepting it, they will still go along.
Yeah.
Understand that? Yeah. Because again, the conditioning is happy wife, happy life. So understand that men will just be like, from she's happy, cool, I'm happy.
But that's contentment.
I'm telling you, subconsciously, that's what men do, and that is my pet hate. That saying.
I'll be really honest, and this is me just kind of like being a bit open here. That's like my dad's way of life, and it's after 26 years of being married that my mum's like, I want you to find what makes Dave happy.
Of course.
And like, I keep having conversations with him now, and it's like, I love that he wants to please my mum. I love it. His whole existence can't be about pleasing someone else. And it's finding what do you want to wake up and do? What serves you? And that and I don't blame them, because again, they've been married since they were 18, 20s.
It's not about blame or fault.
Yeah,
it's not
for
about
sure. It's just about that rebirth of like understanding that there are new things that serve you, and not just about pleasing and giving. And that's just something, even in the last few months, like I've been having conversations with my parents, and there's been so many realizations, and it's been beautiful and heartbreaking at the same time, but just magical that we can even be having these conversations, and that marriages can be having those conversations, because often, let's be real, people do give up, they do, you know, so I feel very, very blessed to be in a space where I can even ask or pose these questions on my family, because it's a learning curve for me, and also just to see them at their big old ages be like, oh wow, CJ's teaching us something. I talked about love languages the other day, and because they're so resistant to change. Listen, and that's not on my parents. That's on generational.
Yeah, it's the conditioning.
It's the tools that they had when they were married and they grew up. They wasn't. I don't think vulnerability and the open space was so.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't a thing then.
You had to fit into that narrative, and most people couldn't or didn't, or some did, and those that did, they just were like, right, I did it, and like your daddy's just trying to please. I'm doing it. I'm just gonna keep doing what's working, but it works. But there's elements of it that's not working. So we're just saying address that.
Yeah,
we're not saying it's not a knock. And it's quite hard and difficult for you to say that, especially to our parents' generation. Like my mum, literally, she's just like, since when was I getting advice from my son? I said, Mum, you're forgetting I'm 41.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a pick-me.
Yeah.
I'm not a child. Like, I know I'm still your child, but I'm not a child.
Right.
You know? So I've got some life experience, regardless of my situation.
And we're in different eras now, so I've got things to present to you that never was around, you know?
Listen, I had to learn.
I
had to listen to everything that was going on around me, because I could have been clouded in my relationship and what was going on, and I decided that I wasn't going to do that. Yeah. It's not enough. Yeah. It's not enough just to love her and she love me. I need more.
You hear that, ladies?
Yeah, I need more.
Men need more too.
1000%, because I need you to know what it means to love yourself. So when women are, you see, one thing I don't find very attractive, is the moment a woman gives her power away to me.
When does she give her power away?
She gives her power away the moment she says, what do you want?
Oh.
What's going on with, so you see, like I said to you, every time a woman is questioning what the man is doing and blah, 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 you're giving your power away, because all I have to do is tell you what you want to hear, and I got you. That you need to understand, that's all men are doing. That's why women they're regurgitating this pain cycle and these relationships, because they keep giving away their power to these men, because they're saying, this is what I want, and the man says, cool, I'll be there. Until I'm not that.
He doesn't,
Until I'm not that, because he wasn't that. Whereas if you just say to a man, look, this is who I am, and this is what I'm bringing to the table, just show me what you're bringing, boo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just be honest. And from you not being honest, isn't that honesty enough? You're not honest.
Yeah.
Like most women are like, I don't know what he's thinking. Have you asked him? Yeah, he's not telling me. So he's told you what he's thinking. He's choosing not to tell you. He has told you.
Yeah, it's true.
You don't have to be upset with that.
Right, but overthinking a situation has always been presented to us.
Every single time, whenever I'm speaking to any of my female friends, my queens, my tribe, I'm always saying, why are you not listening to when a man is speaking?
So when people say about the whole red flag things, and they're like, but you've already been presented with
the red flag.
Yeah, and you're choosing to ignore them.
Well, and the thing is, it's a red flag that you don't have to be like a bull in a china shop.
Right.
You can just be like, it's a red flag because we don't fit.
That's cool.
Like you said earlier, we might fit in a different way. So it might be, we don't have that romantic connection, but we've got some chemistry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can either go with that.
If you're okay with that.
If you're okay, because again, chemistry doesn't have to mean sex. We could just have chemistry where we're playful.
Right.
It doesn't have to, like chemistry, like this is the thing, a lot of the time people lead with chemistry, and when they lead with chemistry, especially women, no one should lead with chemistry. You have to lead with connection. Chemistry must flow through connection. If you lead with chemistry, you are going to F up yourself. Because you're going to find yourself in a situation that you yourself didn't want to find yourself in. You're going to say you're okay. I'm okay with sleeping with him. I'm okay.
Oh.
No, you're not.
And I think I have to say that's a good one. That's a good one.
Do not lead with chemistry. Connection.
Yes.
And allow chemistry to flow through and via.
Yeah.
Allow chemistry to flow through and via connection.
That's a mental one.
That is a fucking good one.
Already just showed me, even in what I'm kind of, or been going through in the last year, that the things that I would be willing to keep sustainable, or like keep going on, are the things that actually were like more friendship based and more things that you might still have that intimacy or level of sex or whatever it is, but actually there's chemistry flowing in, but connection is the foundation. Yeah, the one thing that I would be like, it's actually because it was based off of lust.
Lust.
It's the difference between having, can I swear?
Yeah.
Good. It's the difference between having a fuck buddy and a spiritual fuck buddy.
Ooh!
So you can, or a spiritual buddy or a spiritual life partner.
Ooh.
It's the difference. When you lead with spirit, connection, you will always be okay.
Yeah.
In fact, better. You will always be thriving. You will always be thriving, no matter what the situation. So even if it is just sex, you will always be thriving because you know who you are, what you are, and where you are.
Freaking
You can't lose yourself.
men.
How can you lose it? How can we be living in sacrificial love? That is not sexy.
Ladies,
So sacrifice yourself.
Rewind that. You need to rewind that. Go back to this 10 seconds. Take notes. Get your notebook out.
I'm just saying, it's not sexy, man. Sacrificial love ain't sexy. I want you to, like before, growing up, I might have wanted women to be all over me. I'm not telling you that I still don't like that.
I was gonna say, it's also really hard, and I know we're saying this with our chests, and it, you know, and I get that, but it's also
to this day.
Like there might not be men that are on that level yet, so that level of it's so hard.
It's really hard.
Okay, cool.
You know?
All right, I'm glad you. That's good. Well done, see. Just because that is the dilemma.
Yeah.
This right here is the thing that we're finding. Okay, cool. Check your circle. Check your language, because again, you are going to attract these men if you put it out there.
Ooh.
But what you have to understand is you are not going to attract the man to be your spiritual partner romantically in the fantasized, conditioned, romanticized way. You're going to connect with somebody in such a way that it will take you out of this world.
Oof.
Period.
Oof.
Fanny flutters.
Oof.
Differently.
Oof.
Yeah? Tell me.
Can I just put it out in the universe? I want that right now. Thank you.
Yeah, no, but you have to believe it. You gotta be it.
I agree with that.
You've got to believe it. So what you're talking about, those things, you're so right, because you go, not every man's going to be on this level. Not every man is going to be talking the way I'm talking.
Right.
I'm not going to lie.
And it's really hard because
Same for women, no, it's true.
So people are wanting this level, but they're not being this.
Right. And that's what I'm saying.
And no, I agree with you. I want to put it out there because there is this really fine line of, and I always.
Boy, I love this.
I have to see it from all points because
No, it's beautiful for you to do that. Because there's going to be that person, male or female, that is going to be like, but how?
Yeah, and
what
it always seems impossible.
Yeah.
And listen, I've been there where you're like, there actually are men like this. They're lying, but there are. You have to not even be patient, but you just have to put yourself around these kind of people, not even just men, but these conversations, these understandings, these healing processes. Because if you've not even done the work that even just the 5% of what we've talked about, I'm telling you, it's all going to be very much surface.
And don't say you want the man of your dreams, right? We all say that. I want the man of my dreams. I want Mr. Right to come along and this white horse and, whisk me off my feet. Yeah, fantastic. We all freaking want that. But no, but we do. Like, we all want that lovely, romance story, the pretty woman coming out the window with the rose in his mouth. But I always say be clear in what you want. Before, I remember I said, I want a man to be loyal, funny, boom. Okay, but there has to be clear of what we want a man. And as ladies as well, one thing I have to say as a woman, being single for long and slightly older generation, as you like to call it, is make sure that when you have that list that you want the man to tick, make sure that you're ticking that list first for yourself, right? Because I feel like we all want this man to do this, to have that, to have stability, to have money, to have loyalty, to have commitment, to have his own house, to have his shit together, but do you?
And that is all I'm saying. You can want those things.
Yeah.
I don't even... Listen, have your list. Have it, ladies.
But it has to meet...
I'm just saying, lead with your energy. Lead with what it is that you are providing rather than leading with what it is you want to be provided. Because that's what is happening. They're going... No, most women aren't leading with the energy of what they are providing. Right. They're leading with the energy of what do you have for me?
No, it's about...
And it's like...
Okay, I'm going to throw one question in here then.
Throw it in. Is it a spanner?
It is not a spanner, but I feel like this is something that I feel like has been quite frustrating in the last few years. And I'm not saying this with an ego. I'm actually saying this is where I feel I'm at. I don't really need a lot from a man.
Nice.
In a kind of providing way. Like, I genuinely provide most things for myself. Obviously...
Amen.
I'm really not saying it from that point of view, but like 9 times out of 10, I've never had that male figure, you know, bar my dad, but that
you're talking in a different sense.
That is able to provide for me. So I've naturally become that kind of, and I don't even like the whole independent woman, but I have.
Yeah.
And I sometimes think it goes against me because a man sometimes might feel a little bit intimidated. Now, I don't like using that word because I actually would never want to lead with that energy. I don't want any man to feel intimidated by me. My power is my power. I don't have to do that to make you feel a type of way. But there does feel like there's always that thing of, well, I can't provide, and maybe that is down to a man feeling like he doesn't have enough to provide. Like you said right at the beginning, that a man sometimes feels he's not enough for someone.
Yeah.
Is it just a case of literally being patient and happy in your own space until you find someone that's there? Or, because even the last small relationship that I was with, I was genuinely, again, content with myself, but I found that the man was always kind of saying, yeah, but you're too good for me, I can't give you what you... These times, I'm cool. I'm not asking for your money, I'm not asking for this.
Okay.
I want your time, your energy, but...
All right. Based on how you're speaking to me now, I'm not saying that's how you are there, but I can sense a certain uncomfortableness with this, right? You've got a certain... But not uncomfortable in a bad way. You've got a certain kind of... In fact, you've got compassion and empathy for men that can't, but you're uncomfortable with being comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah, right, okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay.
I'm just telling you what I'm like, but from with the best of intentions.
Yeah.
The intention is not to make a man feel that way.
Right.
The universe listens.
Yeah, right, to everything.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't know
the So everything you're saying is great. Okay, nice. But the universe is paying attention to your energy, and your energy is uncomfortable.
Right. Which it is.
It is. Your energy so you are attracting uncomfortable energy.
Fine. Okay.
Or like the energy of a man
that's uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
So, for example,
right?
You understand? So, listen, I was talking to myself. I said to myself, I was having a conversation. No, and it's like, sometimes we need to understand that when you're there saying, women say, okay, I want a man that's this, that, and the other. I want a man that ticks these boxes, blah, blah, blah. This is what I want, right? We're going to deal with that. I want this, I want that. I'm going to come back to yours already, but I want it because it connects. This is what I want, blah, 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 blah. What they don't understand is what they're saying to the universe is that they want a man that actually is the exact same. So all he wants is a woman that ticks boxes. Right. And then the only time it's going to really connect is when you have someone that ticks the exact same boxes as you, which is very hard.
Right.
So what you're doing is, you're saying, with your energy, I don't want to make a man feel uncomfortable with my confidence. So you are attracting,
backing away from what I
because you're not being true. You're not saying I actually am okay and confident with the fact that I am independent, and I have no intention to make a man feel less independent, because whether he can come and provide for me financially is irrelevant, because as long as he comes and provides for me, because you do need a man, right? And that's the thing, because I need us to understand when I say this, you don't need anyone, you don't need a man like that, but what we need is connection, and we are attracted to the opposite sex. So I need a woman's connection like you need a man's connection.
And that's that. I'm not doing, that's what I'm saying. This is all from the most like purest part. I'm not saying
and I can feel that.
I don't need a man. It's never been about that. And I think, even just saying this, and I'm saying it with the most sincerest part of me.
I feel that.
I'm going, wow, like I really am apologising for
her being independent.
But that's the energy you're unfortunately you're leading with.
But it's really good.
It's sweet. But you're leading with the energy.
No, but I understand, because I'm always meeting this kind of sweet, apologetic thing.
Yes.
And I'm going, why? But,
because you are.
Right.
Because you're being apologetic for your confidence.
Right.
I do not apologize for my epicness.
Right.
Check my tone.
Yeah. See, I'm slightly different to CJ when it comes to that. Like I everything here.
So right, bring up, relax the toes, and nice.
I make mines. I bring it home.
Yep.
Whatever, but.
Nice home, by the way. Nice home.
Thank you. Everything I create in my life, I created myself.
Nice.
For now.
Yes.
But when it comes to that, for me, I'm a little bit more old school. I don't agree with this whole men and women are equal. We're not.
Yeah.
I've got Fanny, you don't. No.
I understand exactly what you're talking about when you're saying we're not equal.
I feel like the man is the provider.
We just change. It just changes, baby. We are. It's not a 50-50. I'm coming with 100-100, but that changes.
No, of course it's 100-100. But we have to understand that at the end of the day, like I said, I've got a fanny, you don't have a fanny.
I can't do what you do.
So you can't do what I do. And
you cannot penetrate me.
Right?
You understand?
Women, you give us a home, you give us a house, we make it a home. Yeah? Right? You give us your sperms, we make it into a baby. Like, let's like...
So another house into a home.
Right? We're creators, and I feel like men are the providers. You're the ones that you're my protector.
Yeah.
Right, so therefore, when it comes to things like what CJ says, and I completely understand where you're coming from, but I feel like certain things, there's principles a man has to take care of.
Yeah, and the thing is, you're right, he does. But at the same time, you're a different woman to she is.
Yeah, no, of course.
So again, it comes differently because...
That's where my thing comes in.
Because, for example, where she's unapologetic in that way, which we discussed, you lose yourself when you get into a man. Like you said, you lose your voice.
What do you mean?
Like you said like you get flustered. So whereas you're fine, you know you provide, you don't lose it in the way that she does.
I don't lose my voice in the sense of like...
No, in terms of energy wise, what you described earlier about like when you really like someone, but it's still a loss of you.
Yeah.
So that what I'm saying is you have to watch that because that's still what you're attracting.
No, you're right.
The universe is still listening to that. You thought you were just gonna say something this side and it wasn't gonna come back then?
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I take that.
Yeah, but the reason why I said that to you is because of what we're saying. You're right. You are totally different to Siege in that sense, but then Siege isn't that way.
Yeah.
Whereas she probably would speak up in the relationship and say, what's going on? What's up? No, I'm fine with you being this. So she's talking, she's over talking, whereas you're like, you can talk, but all of a sudden you're like, why can't you just stay? Do you know what I mean? Whereas in the beginning, you were Mrs. Confident, and now you really like them, and I'm not literally. I'm just saying based on what you said. It's almost like you lot aren't leading with your true energy, is what I'm saying. Regardless of
being consistent with it.
Being consistent.
Consistency is key because I know you guys, and you are what we're showing here. Yeah. But it's crunch time.
This is so vulnerable as well. I'm really just being the most like because I know me and Saz when we speak there's so much.
But this is what I was saying earlier. I think people think we're so confident and got it together all the time. No, we don't.
Which you are, but you're also not.
We do, but we also.
But listen, I think everyone is going through that thing of constantly learning and in these moments, even me just sharing that, I was like, raw, shit then.
I love that. She said raw. Shit then.
Dwayne actually just brought, I just learned about my abandonment. I always knew I was abandoned as a child, my daddy issues, but you just brought it right home.
When it comes up, when it plays a part in
it plays a part in those moments. Yeah. That's why you lose. That's why you lose your voice because your fear of abandonment.
Yeah.
So a lot of the reason why you're afraid to say the wrong thing or the right, you're again not overthinking, but in your way.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? For you, it's not the same. Do you know what I mean? It's a totally different thing. You've actually got the confidence. You don't have the daddy abandonment issue because daddy's there, he's there, but you've got another issue where you guys can still that's why you not connect.
Yeah.
That's why it's just like you guys connected so easily is how we will connect with men and everything else.
Got married. She should have had a dick.
You guys are already married.
You're
already married. No, don't let her have a dick. Just go find a man for that shit, man. The fuck? Y'all got a good relationship. It is what it is. But it's that. We just got to be confident with our stuff. And consistency is key.
Right.
And the consistency when, I always say this is what I tell all my peeps.
Right.
Come crunch time. Because it's easy to be consistent. It's easy to be happy when things are good.
Yeah, right.
Everyone's just no, but I've been doing my work. Generally, I've been doing it. What do you mean when you weren't tested?
Right. Yeah.
I'm not lying. I'm glad. I'm proud of you.
1,000,000%.
But when you're tested,
it's okay to slip, but to recognize and to reflect.
I slip all the time, guys. Don't think I'm speaking out of a space. As much as you hear what I'm talking about when I say I'm confident.
We're humans, of course.
I lead with my dopeness. I am unapologetic about my dopeness. But I slip up all day, every day. But I wake up. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. I'm loving, I'm respectful, and that's for me first. I start with that. Do you know what I mean? And I do that without even looking in the mirror. People will say to you, go look in the mirror and do those things. I don't look in the mirror. I look at my dick in the morning and I say, yes, player.
The ding dong is the King Kong.
And I don't, you know those lies. You know the lies that I'm telling.
I'm like, what?
Like, I plainly don't look at my dick, bro. Like, why are you lying? I'm lying. All I do is just wake up and I go like, yep, another day, grateful. Let's go, man. You got this.
Fantastic,
I just know how dope I am, and I'm willing to be vulnerable. I'm so willing to be vulnerable. Do you know what I mean? I privately, I like to openly share what's privately owned.
Yeah. That's nice.
Because I like to share a lot.
Yes.
But there are certain things that aren't for you, and that's okay.
Absolutely. I think we have had some beautiful moments of vulnerability, of truth, of myself and CJ finally unraveling shit about
ourselves. You gave it this as well,
unraveling. Having moments of like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Like,
that is amazing. And it's been a lovely, lovely chat having you here, Dwayne. We will definitely have you back. Thank you so much.
I will definitely be back.
Have you got one word to leave the ladies before we wrap it up?
I think the one word that we spoke about is lead with love, man. It's not one word, but lead with love.
Lead with love.
I love that. Lead with love.
Thank you. We're definitely having Dwayne back. Yeah. So comment what you wanna, if you wanna have him back, what you wanna talk about the next time.
And if you don't comment. If you don't want me back.
Love you guys.
Thank you.
Wow.